I had a big problem with drugs. I had a big problem with like partying. I would drink so much. I've got a very addictive personality. And a silly example is right now, I eat waffles like I eat 3 waffles a day at least.
I see your fucking waffles.
I went through so much so quickly that I had to grow up very fast. I say to people, like, stop trying to avoid the shit that's going on in your life, because the shit is inevitable. Like, no matter what you're doing, there's always going to be a struggle. That I remember laying in bed one day and my mum came into my room and she said, she was like, do you want to come to a barbecue? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm so tired, but I'm sitting there like this.
Oh my God.
Couldn't sleep. I remember when she left, I was just like, man, I'm such a loser. I'm like, what am I doing?
Oh, wow.
Like, what am I doing? And then the thing that really made me want to change completely was when my dad beat up my mum, and I said, I don't want to be like him. People that overthink, they think that they have to have it figured out before they start. And it's just not true.
True.
Like,
True.
If I would have thought I had to be perfect with my YouTube videos, I wouldn't have posted my 700 videos. Like, I just sort of like removed myself from society sort of thing.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I probably did that for about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't really have friends for about 3 years. The camera, you can.
Look, I'm sitting like this maybe. Your space?
Perfecto.
Okay, cool. Okie dokie. Welcome to another VanTalk, and today the first VanTalk since a long time in English again.
Way.
I'm so happy, and I hope...
Happy to be the one.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm sitting here with Max, and I wanted to do this VanTalk since a long time, actually, since months. I think we were talking about it, because we met each other, I don't know, many months ago.
Yeah, it was,
remember?
Because I left, I went to the UK. I went back to the UK for a bit. I think we met.
Summer.
It was in the summer.
Yeah, because my friend was visiting, I remember exactly. So today is the day, party people, and why I want to do a VanTalk with Max, it's a question now, and it is because first, I think you have a very good energy, Max.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram. You see how, or even on TikTok, you are very energized and very happy. And this is not.
I try to be.
Yeah, no, I mean
that's my tattoo. It's Hoy es el mejor día de todos, estoy vivo, and that just means today is the best day of them all. I'm alive.
Wow.
Like, today's a good day because I'm living. I'm smiling. I'm breathing.
Yeah.
Like, that's really when we face it, that's all that we really need.
Yeah.
So like, I just choose to feel like that every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's some days that I complain and I moan, but I choose to feel that because if I'm going to live with me every day, at least be happy with myself. Do you know what I mean?
That's so amazing. And actually, this is really what I feel. I mean, there are people who are happy too, but then they are like not fake happy, but too happy. But you have both sides. You are authentic.
Right.
I feel you are a very authentic person and a happy person.
Yes, I'd like to say I am. I'd like to say I am. I try to be. I try and be as real as possible. And so, like I said, that tattoo, it says be kind.
Yeah, be
and
kind, that's
being kind doesn't always necessarily being nice. Like, there's some people that I just don't get on with and I won't speak to because they're just not the type of people that I want to be with. And that doesn't mean that they're horrible people. It's just, I just don't want to be around those people. So like, being kind is also being kind to myself, and that doesn't mean being nice to everyone. I think that's just a reality of it. You can't please everyone. I don't try and please everyone as well.
Yeah, nice.
So that's sort of the authenticity. But at the same time, even when everything's going wrong, I'm like, well, I've still got this. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got this, but I've still got this. Yeah. So there's always something to find happiness in, I believe.
It's your mindset, yeah. And your mindset, and this is not the topic. So you are hypnotherapist?
Hypnotherapist.
Hypnotherapist in English. Hypnotherapist.
Yes.
And I find this is very interesting. I did one hypnose with a friend just some months ago, my first one. And wow, it gets really so straight to my unconscious thoughts that I was so impressed how she did go on that point. So, you know, boom. And so yeah, let's talk about how you became a hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to know how this all came, because I remember that you told me you was not always so happy and had this kind of lifestyle. Because now, shortly explain, you are living in Mexico, right?
Living the dream. Playa del Carmen. I love it.
Since when?
March last year.
March last year. Before? You are born in
the UK.
You in the UK? Where exactly?
Yeah. Near London, so a place called Surrey.
Okay.
But I moved towards Brighton way, like near Brighton, in a place called Eastbourne, before I came here. And then after coming here, I just felt this was home, and like this feels like such home to me.
Mexico.
Specifically played on day two. Day two, I came into Central, and I was like, I didn't know anyone, didn't know the language, didn't know anything. like didn't know where I was, and I was walking down the road in Central. I remember exactly where it was. It was all the way by, I think, Kaye 7 or 8. And I remember walking down there and I was just like, why does this feel like home? I was like, I don't know why, but it feels like home. And I just love it. I love the language, I love the people, that type of stuff. But yeah, before, like, I had a big problem with drugs. I had a big problem with like partying. I would drink so much. I've got a very addictive personality. So I get addicted to things very easily. Yeah. And a silly example is right now, I eat waffles like I eat 3 waffles a day at least.
I see your fucking waffles. So it's not so cool because I'm fasting very often, and then when I see Mac's stories, I'm like reminding how tasty is food because I love waffles. So you are waffle addicted?
Literally. And like, whenever I do anything for the first time, I get very addicted to it very quickly. So I try and get addicted to good things. And like I put loads of protein powder in my waffles and stuff like that. But one day I'm going to open up a waffle shop here. 100%.
You could even sell it now, like you know, when how you say in English, when you just
sell it from home.
Who knows you knows.
Well,
like when people knows but not official, but they know.
Well, the thing is, I want to set up a shop. Like I've got the exact idea. I have all like the marketing skill and stuff like that, and also I know a lot of influencers. So I'm just like, well, I'll just give you free waffles and you can promote our waffle shop. So
I'm gonna promote your waffle.
100%. I'm gonna get all my friends over. I'm gonna be like, come to my waffle shop. I like enjoy it, and it's I've got the name of it. I'm not gonna put the name public yet.
You do gluten-free vegan waffles too?
They're all vegan, and some will be gluten-free. Okay. Mine, I like gluten personally, but honestly, I've got the idea: hot cakes and waffles. That's what I'm going to make, a hot cake and waffle shop. I'm looking forward to that.
I love it.
That's a venture one day once I've done all my other stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not something that I'm rushing to do.
Perfect. Okay, this is a future business from Max, where you maybe have the...
Look out, when you come to Playa, come and see my waffle shop.
Exactly. But yeah, let's tell me your story, how you really became like different, how it changed your mindset, because you said... How old are you now?
25.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you're so young.
Yeah, I'm super young.
I didn't know. I thought you were a little bit older.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah,
and
you seem different energy, like not old, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely got an old soul energy. Like at the same time, I've got a very young energy as well. Like I'm such a child at the same time, which I really enjoy. But I'm also got an old soul in the sense of I went through so much so quickly that I had to grow up very fast.
Oh yeah.
So like I say to people, like, stop trying to avoid the shit that's going on in your life, because the shit is inevitable. Like no matter what you're doing, there's always going to be a struggle. Someone who's got billions and billions of pounds or dollars, they still have other struggles in their life. Someone who's got a great relationship still has other struggles in their life. So it's like, don't try and avoid struggles, try and overcome the struggles. So for me, all the struggles that went on in my life, like my dad beat up my mum. He was like quite mentally abusive to her. Sort of like split our family in half. I don't speak to half of my family. So all of that, I was taking a lot of drugs at this point as well. And then I got to the...
young?
Yeah, I was maybe like 16, 17, 18. Was sort of like 3 years of just like drugs all the time. And I think 19 is when I started coming off the drugs. But this was like, I was like cocaine, ecstasy, MDMA, like not just weed, do you know what I mean? And the worst point was taking, I think it was for 30 days. I had either cocaine, weed, ecstasy, alcohol every day for 30 days. And by the end of the 30 days, I was just sort of like so physically, like my body just couldn't cope, that I remember laying in bed one day and my mum came into my room and she said, she was like, do you want to come to a barbecue? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm so tired. But I'm sitting there like this.
Oh my God.
Couldn't sleep. And it's like beautiful day. It's like this, which you don't get much of in the UK.
Yeah.
And when she came in and said this, I remember when she left, I was just like, man, I'm such a loser. I'm like, what am I doing?
Oh, wow.
Like, what am I doing? And then the thing that really made me want to change completely was when my dad beat up my mum, and I said, I don't want to be like him.
Oh, wow.
So people say, they're like, oh, like, oh no, that's awful, that's so bad. And it's like, but no, it was a good thing. Like my mum wouldn't be as happy as she is with her new husband.
Okay.
I wouldn't be here in Mexico. I wouldn't be doing content. I wouldn't be a hypnotherapist if all that shit didn't happen. Yeah, so it's like, don't try and avoid it. Exactly, like
it's part of it.
Exactly, and like try and use the things that have happened, because they've already happened. You can't stop them from happening. You can't undo it. But what you can do is change how you feel about them. You can change your perspective on it. So for me, it was all about changing my perspective, and now it's led me down a route of creating videos, and I love making videos. It's led me to help loads of people. I'd say probably a good few hundred people. with hypnosis specifically, it's allowed me to travel the world. Like, all this stuff wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have gone through shit, basically. So like, I try and encourage people, don't avoid it. Like, look at it and face it and say, what's this actually trying to give me? Like, even stuff that I'm going through right now, I'm like, okay, if I would have started my YouTube journey and I would have grown very quickly and been able to pay an editor, I wouldn't have the skill that I have now to work on one of the projects that I'm working on.
You pay an editor now?
No, not yet. But someone's going to pay me to do some editing and filming and to be in the video for them.
Yeah?
So, yeah, exactly. So I'm getting, because I've got a skill that I thought I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to learn editing years ago, but now I have a skill that's now going to pay me.
Wow.
So it's fine. If you can find that before, like now I see this and I'm just like, okay, this is serving me. This is going to teach me skills. This is going to give me character. This is going to build so much, because a lot of people see this quick success online and they see people grow very quickly, make a lot of money, whatever. But what you see a lack of is character in those people. So for me, I'm like, look, if I haven't got the success that I want to get to, and don't get me wrong, I've had loads of great successes. Do you know what I mean? I've written a book. I've made a fair amount of money. Yeah, I've done some really good things.
Wow.
I've helped a lot of people. So like, those are great successes that I can hold on to. But like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And I could just overlook what I've done and be worried about where I'm not because I see other people there. But I'm just like, look, focus on what you've done and keep working towards what you want to do. Like, everyone works at a different pace.
Yeah, that's amazing. But what I want to know is, I mean, really the point where you wanted to change your life, that was really the one moment?
Yeah.
This one moment?
Yeah.
It was so eye-opening for you?
The two moments. The one of me laying in bed and realising how much of a loser I felt. I was so skinny, I hadn't eaten for days.
Your mum, did she said anything to you in this time? Like
she didn't know. She didn't know.
No?
Not aware. And like she said, she was like, I'm such a bad mum. Like, I didn't know this. I'm like, I obviously hid it from you. I didn't want you to know this. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want you to know that I was taking drugs all the time.
Yeah. And the people around you didn't notice this neither?
My friends were taking drugs with me.
Okay. You was surrounded by
Yeah, exactly. So it's very easy for me to take drugs.
Okay.
So it's very normal. It was, you go out, you take drugs. It's a very normal cultural thing in the UK.
And nobody really was there to say, hey, stop it. Nobody.
Exactly.
Like, okay. That's
it was always like, because I had so many groups of friends as well, I would go out with this group, they would give off for a week, I would go out with another group, and then they would go off the next week. So I always had different friends that I could go and see and constantly be with someone to party or something.
And what was your first steps then? What did you take action? So when you said, I don't want this anymore, what did you really do?
So I remember coming across, my mum told me about Tony Robbins.
Yes, I love him.
Yeah, I love
He's
Tony
amazing.
Robbins. So I came across Tony Robbins, and then do you know oracle cards, like angel cards, like tarot cards?
Yeah.
So they're basically tarot cards, but they're more like you don't need to know how to read them. Okay. You just basically pull a card and you read a book. And I remember my mum showed me them, and I was really embarrassed if I was ever doing like meditation or anything like that. I remember if I was ever meditating and someone walked in the room, I'd be like, oh, you're right. Like, I would get out of the meditation because I felt really awkward doing it. Because it's such an uncommon thing for where I came from. Do you know what I mean? Like,
here it's so normal.
Oh yeah, but no, just like the lifestyle that I lived before, like meditation. Oh, you're a hippie, man. Like, why are you meditating? Like, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
So I never really got into it too much until I came across Tony Robbins, and I watched all of his videos on YouTube. Literally, I was just binge watching Tony Robbins. I was like, I want to do that. I want to help people.
Wow.
He's been through a crazy time like me. Maybe I can help people. But then I realised I went to one, and actually, speaking of manifestation, I manifested a Tony Robbins ticket for free.
No.
Yeah. My sister's old boss basically paid for me to go to Tony Robbins, and I remember.
God.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Because you're watching so much from Tony Robbins, and your wish was you wanted to meet him.
I wanted to go to one of his events.
Oh my God!
And my sister goes, she goes, oh, I'm going to a Tony Robbins event. I was like, no way. I was like, do you even know who he is? She's like, not really. I was like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Wow.
She then goes, Greg said you can come if you want. I was like, really? I was like, really? I was like, I'm coming.
Wow.
And I remember we went to this, and I did there was a partner work thing that he was getting us to do. So I was talking to one of my sister's co-workers, because he basically took some of his staff. And I said, it was like, oh, I want to do that. She was like, what's stopping you? I was like, there's no way I can do that. I'm too anxious, because I had really bad anxiety. So when I came off of the drug, I had really bad anxiety and depression. Like, I just couldn't talk to people. Like, making eye contact with someone, I'd go like this. It would freak me out. It would freak me out.
I cannot imagine.
Exactly, and that's what I like to say to people is, you see this now, but you don't see who I generally was before. Like, I couldn't talk to a camera. I couldn't talk to I couldn't even FaceTime people. It was like, it would give me anxiety. Do you know what I mean?
Talk to people on the street?
And now I talk to people on the street,
but
literally.
You could do it?
Oh, no way before. Like, and I actually overcame the anxiety of, like, I used to struggle talking to women. So I actively like broke that barrier and started speaking to women on the street, and that completely shifted my whole level of confidence to be able to do whatever I want to do. Do you know what I mean? So honestly, there's so much, but like, that's what it was. Like, originally, drugs, violence, like around all that stuff, fighting all the time, to then getting really bad anxiety and depression, to now being confident, happy and fulfilled. Like,
oh my God, it's
crazy, right?
That's why I want to know how you did it, because this journey, I mean, you know what I feel, why I do VanTalks is to inspire people, because when we watching biography, of someone, it's really like we can feel it is possible.
Yes.
You know, it is possible, because many people, they cannot imagine that they can do it. But when you see other people did it too,
it
like
builds belief.
It builds belief, exactly. And if you believe, you can do it. That is manifestation. You know, it's like
there's actually a science to that, though. So if you watch someone do something, your brain lights up in a certain way. They did a study on it. Your brain lights up in certain areas to show that it's happening, to show that you're watching someone do something. If you do it, your brain lights up even more. So like, do you know what I mean? Like, let's say you're watching someone cook versus actually cooking. Obviously, when you're actually cooking, there's certain areas in your brain that light up more. If you watch someone do it, it lights up a fair amount. If you just imagine yourself doing it, it actually lights up nearly as much as watching someone.
Oh, okay.
So if you can imagine yourself doing something so vividly, so regularly, you start to create that. And that's sort of how that was the first step that I took. I heard about visualization, I heard about manifestation, I heard about law of attraction.
From Tony Robbins, right?
Yeah. And then that's where I went down the rabbit hole. The first book I ever read was the second book I ever read was The Secret. You know, Rhonda Byrne.
Yeah, I have it here.
Oh, okay. Secret. No way.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, that's super cool. That is cool.
Somewhere here, yeah, it's The Secret, because I was reading it 2008. I think 2008. I read the book, The Secret.
I'm trying to think when I did. I can't remember when it was. But I remember leaving school, I couldn't read. So I could barely read, so I had to teach myself how to read. Even now, like, I'm not the greatest reader. Like, I read a bit, but I'm like, when I left school, it was painful to hear me read. If you would hear me read, you'd be like please stop. It was literally like, and then the real secret was that it all starts in your mind. Like, it's literally like painful. It's like, please stop, just let someone else read it. Like, it was awful. So like, I had to learn how to read, I had to learn all this stuff, because I never really tried to do it in school. But when I came across The Secret, my initial thought when I came across The Secret was, that's it, I'm going to be a millionaire in 3 months. That was genuinely my first thought. Like, genuinely, I was like, 3 months? Give me 3 months. I dropped out of, so I was doing plumbing at college. I dropped out of plumbing, like 3 months to the end of my course. So I could have completed the course and been a qualified plumber. Dropped out 3 months to the end, and I was like, plumber, like, they do like all the water in the house.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were wondering what that was. The way you said it, you went, plumber.
Oh my God, okay.
No, so I was going to be a qualified plumber. Dropped out, and I started doing Forex trading and lost all my money. And it wasn't even my money, a lot of it.
Oh no, the manifestation was not working.
Well, and that was my thought, and I was like, this stuff doesn't work.
Really?
But then I started to get into it and started to understand how it works.
Exactly.
And it's not just I think it and it comes. Yeah. It's I put the intention out and I act towards it. Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than saying, oh, I'm going to win the lottery to become rich, why not say, I want to create a business that's going to generate me money? If you win the lottery, great. But don't rely on luck to become successful. That's what I say. If you're doing it in terms of like monetary success, don't rely on luck. Rely on your work ethic, rely on your skill, rely on the person that you are. Because all your money could be taken away. All your relationships could be taken away. But what they won't take away is who you are as a person and your character. So like I said, if you go through all this shit, it doesn't matter what you lose. it doesn't matter what you lose. It's about who you are, because you could lose everything and you can still become successful. And they've done like TV shows with this. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen Undercover Billionaire?
No, I don't know.
So do you know who Grant Cardone is?
No.
No? So they're just like some big like business owners in the US. They basically got dropped in a town in the middle of nowhere in America with no money. They weren't allowed to use their name because some of them are famous, and people didn't know who they were, but they weren't allowed to use their money, their name, anything. They had $100 and a truck, and that was it, and they had to build a $1 million business in 90 days, and all of them did it. I think like minus like a little bit, like some of them didn't make it completely. Some of them made it like $500,000-$600,000 valuated business, but it's because the character they've built the skill to be an entrepreneur, to make more money. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's about building character. That's what it really is.
Oh, they're screaming here. Why are we attracted to this right now?
You said, should we go somewhere quiet?
Yeah, I mean, manifestation and other things. I mean, I'm such a manifestation fan.
Yeah, fanatic.
I'm fanatic because I was experienced so many cool things with it.
Right.
It's more about being conscious and watching yourself and your thoughts, and then just because you got every one of us gonna see it if he keeps his focus on it. No,
of course.
I mean, this is really like it. This is actually this, and then you have to. Oh my God! Okay, now it's a little bit loud, but we have the microphone, so with that,
it's all good.
with that, it's actually not so bad.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Muchas personas.
Yeah, muchas personas. Are they going to the beach? Hola. Yeah. So what I wanted to say is the manifestation thing. I mean, we're all manifesting. It's just nice if you find out to change whatever you want to
intentionally as well.
Manifestation, yeah.
Because like, let's face it, every day you're manifesting. Like, think about people that things are going wrong in their life. Like, literally listen to what they say. Oh, life's against me. This sucks. This always happens to me. I hate this. I hate that. Like, listen to the words that we say out loud, and also what we say to ourselves. Like, I wake up every morning, I'm like, I'm happy to be alive. I say that to myself. It's automatic. It really is. Like, and that's one of the things.
You programmed yourself.
I've programmed myself, and that's why I like hypnosis, because you get straight to the subconscious, and you can change a belief in a.
Yeah, really? You did it with yourself?
Yeah, of course. So that's why I became a hypnotherapist. I actually did it for me first. I'd used self-hypnosis before I even hypnotized anyone. I was like,
okay.
I need to help myself. Started doing it, and I was like, wow, this is quick. And
you get to the hypnosis because of Tony Robbins then?
No, so how did I get there? No, so actually, I had a conversation with a mentor of mine once, and he was very blunt and to the point. He said, do you want me to be honest? And I was like, yeah. He was like, why should I trust you? Because I was like coaching people at this time, and like my first year in coaching, I didn't charge anyone a penny. Like, I just did it for free.
How you became that coach then? How you coaching people because of Tony Robbins?
No, so I started getting into like personal development, Tony Robbins and stuff like that, and I got into like reading books and audio books and all that, like How to Influence People, Think and Grow Rich. All those like really like famous personal development books. Then I started to like realize how much happier I was, and I was like, well, maybe I can help people. So then I started getting into that, and I was just coaching people, but I wasn't charging anything. Then my mentor said to me, he was like, why should I trust you? And I was like, because I know what I'm talking about. He's like, but how do I know that? And I was like, fair point. And he wanted me to go to university to get a degree, and I was like, I don't want to go to university. So I found an alternative route, and I came across NLP. Do you know NLP? Yeah, NLP. So Tony Robbins obviously studied NLP before, that was like his first thing. So I studied NLP, and then in NLP is hypnosis. So NLP is basically derived of all the best therapies. They've taken like the best parts from each one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That's I think NLP is a great modality for change, because they use the greatest parts of hypnosis. So for example, conversational hypnosis, they use conversational hypnosis in NLP. They use parts of Gestalt therapy, they use parts of family therapy, they use parts of all these different modalities to create NLP. And once I was going into this, it's like a very broad topic, like NLP. So I was then finding out what I wanted to do, and then I saw hypnosis, and I was like, that would be so cool to be able to hypnotize people. So I started doing it, and I started using self-hypnosis, and in 3 months, my progress and like inner success was so much faster than what happened in the previous 3 years.
Wow.
So like in 3 months, it was like 3 years worth of work with hypnosis. So I was like, there's something in this. Like maybe I could really help people with this.
Yeah.
And I even think I want to divert my work into more teaching people the self-hypnosis, because I think self-hypnosis is a great tool if someone uses it.
I didn't know.
Yeah, super powerful.
Actually.
Super powerful.
Why I was not looking.
Well, like I've got a bunch of like self-hypnosis tapes on my YouTube. I've got loads for like anxiety, for sleep.
Oh, yeah, you're doing YouTube as well. He's doing YouTube as well. Guys, you have to check it out because
follow my channel.
No, this is really interesting. I have to check this out.
Yeah, I've got a load on there. You just type in Max HINDLE hypnosis tape and something will come up. There's quite a few on there, a couple of meditations. And they're really powerful for helping you reprogram yourself. Like at the moment, I'm doing a challenge with myself where I'm focusing on generating more abundance in my life. So I'm doing an abundance hypnosis every day and just seeing what happens after 30 days.
Is it like affirmations?
No. So it is like a meditation hypnosis track.
Okay.
And it's more about visualizing who you're becoming.
Okay,
versus just saying I am rich. It's like actually create the person that you are becoming. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, who do I need to be my most successful self financially? For me, I need to be a confident person. So rather than focusing on the abundance itself, focus on the person you want to become.
Yes, exactly. How would you feel when you would have this, what you think you want to have, and how would you feel? And then imagine this feeling already so that you become really this. I understand the point of it. This is powerful, I believe.
Yeah,
super
like,
for me, this is all. Actually, I always say law of attraction, manifestation. I think it includes for me so much what it's a separate category, but I feel I use it all in one. You know, even all the law of assumption and law of attraction and law of you know, the different laws. For me, it's the law of attraction includes for my
that makes sense. And I also agree, because I feel like some people can get the law of attraction very misconstrued, and they'll say, what do you mean you think it and it comes into reality? It's like, but it's not just thinking it. Do you know what I mean? You can't just go £1 million, just wait for it to come out of the sky. Although actually I've got a very crazy manifestation story, so I wrote about it in my book. I was at, do you know Stonehenge?
No,
so it's like a very sacred like stone site in the UK. So you know, like if you go to Chichen Itza, it's like the UK's version of that, basically.
Okay.
So it's like there's loads of stones that they don't know how they were placed there. They're all in like a circle in the middle of a field. It's really weird. I went there with some friends, and I did a meditation for their clients. Like we took their laptop and I did a meditation for their clients online, like by the stones. We then got up and he said, do you want me to channel energy for you? And I was like, I've never had anyone channel energy for me. Like, of course, why not? Let's do it. And he started channeling energy. And have you ever had anyone channel energy for you? So it's really weird.
What this is.
So basically he put earplugs in and he just started saying what was coming to his mind, and he was channeling energy from another dimension. I don't
really?
know. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm sitting there, I'm kind of skeptical when he's doing this. And then after a while, I started opening my eyes and I was looking, I was like, they were just saying really weird things. He's talking about instant manifestation, everything's timeless, you can create anything like that in a snap of a finger.
Oh, shit.
And I was like,
nice.
Don't know if I believe it. Like, I opened my eyes and I sort of leant back. And when I leant back, both of them had their eyes closed. And as soon as I leant back, he just goes, don't be scared. I went, what the fuck? I was like, that is weird. That is super weird. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola.
Yeah.
I'm a musician here. You're natural playing. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so I was... where was I?
Don't be scared.
Oh, yeah, so he said, don't be scared. And I literally went, oh, what the fuck? How did he see me? So I leaned forward again, started talking more about instant manifestation. I was like, all right, let me put this to a practice. I didn't tell him or the girl I was with, like I didn't say anything to either of them. And I went, all right, let me see if I can manifest something. I was like, I'm thirsty. And then as soon as I said it, he goes, oh, do you want some water? I've got some water in the car. I was like, okay. I was like, that's possible. That's possible. I was like, how about something a bit more specific? I was like, how about pistachio nuts? And then he goes into it's like a type of nut. Pistachio? Yeah, no, pistachio. So, So he goes into his bag and he goes, oh, I've got some food. I've got this. I've got pistachio nuts. I was like, okay, that's really weird. And as soon as he said that, I was like, actually, I don't want them. And he opened them. He's like, oh, there's nothing in here. Sorry. And I said, so I created it and I uncreated it at the same time. That's what it felt like.
No, really?
So then I was like,
God.
But I thought about it. I was like, this is still very possible. This is a very possible manifestation. So I went, all right, in the middle of nowhere, I went, right, I'm going to manifest £150. I was like, it's not a lot of money. It's not a ridiculous amount of money, but it's still a random amount of money to just receive. We went to a gas station to fill up my car. He goes to the ATM and gives me £150. I didn't say any of this to him. Yeah. So I went like this. I went, what the fuck? I was like, this is weird. Then we're in the middle of a field at another like rock site. Yeah. And I went, right, I'm going to manifest a Ferrari. And a fucking silver Ferrari drives straight past me. I was like, we're in the middle of nowhere. There was one pub, and that was it. It was just fields and fields and fields for miles.
God,
so I'm like, who has a Ferrari around here? So then as soon as I did that, I went, how about a Ferrari for me? And like, the instant that I completely doubted everything, and I went, how about a Ferrari for me? Like, it was just the way that I said it. There was no possibility that it was actually going to happen. Like, I didn't believe that it was going to happen, but all of that happened in such a random sequence. But it proves, like, start with the small things. I started with a bottle of water, pistachio nuts, £150, and then I went to a Ferrari. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a big leap.
It's wow.
But yeah, that was a crazy story. Like, I've manifested great things. I manifested money. I've manifested people, money, relationships. Like, crazy. And some things very instantly. Like, the next day, I remember saying, right, I'm gonna make £1,000 tomorrow. I wake up and I had £1,000 in my bank account.
When?
An extra 1,000 in my bank account. Next day, the next day, I went.
Oh, the camera's off. Then
I think that literally only just went off.
It just no. Oh my god. Okay. So sorry, the camera.
Yeah. so I literally said, I was laying in bed and I was so sure that I was going to make £1,000 the next day. I don't know why. And I woke up and I had £1,000 in my account. I was literally like I was really lost for words. I was like, that was the exact amount I asked for. I was like, what the fuck? Like, again, the Tony Robbins ticket. I got a trip to Bali, like all these things that I've created. Yeah. So like all these things that I created, that they didn't actually come from me. They came from someone external, but I still was able to live them and experience them. And yeah, just everything. I believe everything is a manifestation. But also I believe that just because we want something and we believe we want something doesn't mean it's the right thing to have.
I think the same.
Yeah.
I think the same. And this is when some things not happen. For example, sometimes because I'm so much into manifesting. I manifested the van. I even manifested that they are colorful now. I didn't paint. I didn't pay for this.
No,
my friends
really like
offered me to do. All these details are always...
That's crazy.
Yeah, always like... I have many stories to tell about manifestation. But some things I could not get. And then I was always like, why? This is so weird. But then I understand, no, there's another path for me. There's another way for me, what is way more better for me. And sometimes we have to trust and then maybe to think what I get now into my head, what I really feel I could manifest other way. Yeah. Maybe I thought I want this, but actually if I would really have it, it's not really my thing. And then I can maybe think about, okay, what else? That this gone, for example, a way of money, to earn money, for example. Then, no, but I want to earn money with this. I know that can work, but maybe it should not be this way. Maybe I should go this way. And then, oh, maybe I could do this even when I was never thinking about it. But then this things comes into my mind because this was not working. If that would have worked, I would never get the other idea.
Exactly.
And this is actually good for me because then I go a better way.
And you build character along the journey because like think about it, if someone's had really quick success, they don't know what it's like to struggle. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know people that have got hundreds of thousands. I know people that have got millions of followers on social media and they don't post regularly because they got it within like months. So like, I know that because I haven't got it, don't get me wrong, I've had days where I'm like, oh, I wish I just had those followers. I wish I was able to build that audience. Like I have a lot of skill. I've spent tens of thousands on practicing like and learning about it. But what I've got is the tenacity and like the ability to keep going when things are tough. So I know that long term I will succeed, and that's the way that I see it. I'm just like, I know that I'm going to succeed long term. I refuse to stress about the little things now. It's more for me, like, I look at people and a lot of people tend to start on a business journey, they make a lot of money, then they go to the mindset, the spiritual, and like manifestation. That tends to be the way. Yeah. Whereas I've done the total opposite. I did all my healing first. I've like faced my fears, overcame my anxieties.
Same.
And I feel like that builds so much character that when you get the money, you don't really care. You don't care so much. Do you know what I mean? Like it just supplements your life. Do you know what I mean? True. Like I've made £10,000 a month in like a couple of months, in like months before. Like I've done £10,000. I've also with hypnosis, wow. And I've also done months where I've earned nothing. For like when I came back to when I was in Player last year, I had to sell my car to pay for rent because I didn't have any money.
Oh wow!
So like I had to sell my car, and I'm still in debt with my car to this day. But I had to sell it to pay rent. So like, but again, I don't see it as a lack. I don't see it as a loss. I see it as like, well, I got to experience Playa del Carmen, because my whole thing is, look, if I died tomorrow, would I be happy doing what I've done so far? So far, I'm more than happy. Yeah. Like I'd actually be okay dying tomorrow. Obviously, don't get me wrong. I do not want that. I want to live to 120. That's what I'm going for. Yeah. But I know that if every day I think like that and I choose to experience, I still work hard every day. Like I work 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week if I need to.
But you love what you're doing.
I love what I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I love learning about it. But every day, like in the morning, I don't start work till 11, 12 o'clock most days. I go to the gym, I go meditate on the beach, I go journal, I jump rope, I meet some friends, maybe for breakfast. I then make some waffles or something like that.
I was just thinking on it. I swear, the waffle, you have to mention them. Yeah.
Oh, waffles, the good life. But then I do all that, then I go and work. And I don't strain myself, I don't stress myself. I know that things take a lot of time, and like some days I'll do a lot more hours than others. But every day I try to just live, because that's the most important thing to me. No one will say I regret living. They will say I regret working so much and not seeing my kids and my family and my friends. I regret partying so much and not being able to be healthy for my family. Like all those type of things, there's those regrets.
Yeah,
I will never regret coming to Mexico, coming to Playa del Carmen, having so many great friends, meeting people, working on projects, living on purpose. Like I will never regret that. So as long as I do that every day, then life's good. And I always believe, like my mum, which I adore my mum, I love my mum and my grandparents, they always ask me if I'm good for money. And I always say, I'm always going to be good. The universe has got me. I'm blessed. I'm in like a hammock, and the universe always like, don't worry, I've got you. Like, you may think you're going to fall and die, but you're not. Don't worry, I've got you. It's always got me. It always has, always will. And I feel like, again, that's a mindset thing. Let's face it, there's no real reason for me to think that. Like, I never had any money. I never once earned over £10,000 in a year. And then I made that in 1 month before. So like, there's no real reason for me to think that I can do that. But I just created a belief that I could do it, and eventually it happened.
Yes.
That's how it works.
So beautiful.
It's amazing. I love it. I love the mind. That's why I love hypnosis. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Me too. I find it so interesting because like how we are as humans. I mean, I love animals, and I think they are really like a forebuilder. What is forebuilder? Like idols where we watch animals, and I think they living the right thing, like here and now, and
like you said with
enjoy.
Avatar sort of thing, like they're really living life.
Exactly, Avatar. We just talked about Avatar because this is really what we living. This is what I wanted to say, is with the nature and with the animals, but in the same, I love the humans because of the mind, because we compared to animals, we are able to play. I always say we come to Earth. Like this is like a learning and not like a studying, like you're going to school, like the earth experience here, being in the human body and experience cool things, and just want to experience with our bodies and create. We want to create, right? We came to create, and our mind is so powerful. And imagine there's so much more to learn about it, because all what we're talking, manifestation and hypnosis, I mean, for us it's quite normal. No, for me since many years I'm talking about, but for many people not. There are many people
that blows my mind still.
They don't know.
That blows my mind.
They don't know. There are a lot of people, they don't know about the power of their mind. They have no idea that they can create things. They're thinking they're a victim. Imagine
That's
this.
It. And I tell you what, and don't get me wrong, I've worked with a lot of clients that like believe they're worthless, they're useless, they're a piece of shit. Like there's people that truly believe that about themselves. I'm like, what do you mean? And it's all because of experiences they've been through. And like you said, I was on a podcast, so I've got a podcast as well, and we were chatting about this, and we were saying, if you never had to make money, what would most people actually do? They would turn to something creative. Art, videos, photography, drawing, painting, like all these type of things that are creative, because we naturally are creative beings. Some people are more creative than others. Other people are more logical, obviously, and like think of it that way. That's the rise for like business and stuff like that. Nowadays, business is possible to be a creative. Like, think about YouTube. You can make money from YouTube by just making videos. You can sell art and make a lot of money through selling art. I love creativity, and I think people are very creative in general, but society makes you believe that you shouldn't be creative, because like you go to university, you get an art degree, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, you can't really do much with it. Whereas if you go and get an economics degree, you can go into finance, you can go into business. You don't need a degree, and I'm actually going to make a video on this about how you don't need a degree to do anything. Like, I know people with no degrees, like the highest amount of education they had was high school. They make a lot of money. There's some that are very happy. Like, there's no one set path for life. You've just got to find your unique path, and everyone has their own unique path. And it's just about, like, it sounds cliche, but like finding yourself. Like, coming here, I am meant for Playa del Carmen. I feel so at home. This is where I'm meant to be. I may have been born in England. That's why I like Avatar too, because they may have been born in the jungle.
True.
But that little girl, is it Yuri?
Ah, that's nice. Yeah.
Is it Yuri? I can't remember her name.
I don't remember.
Can't remember her name.
True,
but she fits in with the water people.
Ah, true. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you're right.
For me, that like when I watched that, I was like, huh. Just because I was born in the UK doesn't mean I'm meant to be there.
Because it was same. I was thinking once about it. I was like, but I was born in Europe. But for me, I'm always so cold.
Yes, I need the sun.
Really, for me, it's like it's really a torture for me to be in Germany.
No, I agree.
All my body is like this. I'm so cold. I cannot enjoy life. And then I felt like I'm born there for whatever reason. It's super weird, but I'm meant to be in a warm weather.
100%.
And
I suppose that sort of breaks down. Like, so when you think about it, like racism, even to a degree, like they're like, oh no, you're not meant to be here. You go back to where you're from, and it's like, but just because you're born somewhere doesn't mean you're not meant to be somewhere else.
Yes.
Like I like multicultural things. That's why I like Playa del Carmen, because there's like, I know Italian people, American people, Canadian people, Argentinian people, Mexican people,
so
German
amazing.
people.
Yeah,
like I've met so many different cultures that I get to experience how other cultures live. And for a lot of people, they don't, like you said, closed-mindedness, they'll never truly experience other cultures. They think that this is the only way to live life. They think that it's get a job, go to work, like in the UK specifically, get a job, go to work, go to the pub on Fridays, get a curry on Saturday, watch TV, start again on Monday, have a kid, then have another kid, and it's very same. Everyone does the same thing. Whereas, like, I'm just like, why not try an alternative route? If you don't like it, you can go back to your old life.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? That's generally what I thought. I came here for 1 month. That was it.
Really?
That was my original plan. Come here for 1 month, come on a vacation. Now I choose to live here because I enjoy it so much. It's how I choose to be.
So you came so you came here for 1 month, and then you decided just to stay longer.
That's it.
Yeah, and then
I just felt it was the right place for me, and I figured out a way to allow myself here to live here, and like I figured it out along the way. I didn't like overthink it before I came. Like, I didn't think, right, I need to figure out how to get residency, I need to figure out how to get this.
This is smart.
It develops.
Same for me.
It develops itself.
Yeah.
Like, I met people, I've got like 5 different people that are like, oh, I can help you get residency.
Yes.
Like, it's now not an issue.
I got and I was never thinking about it. It just came into my way. Really, I was not even looking for it. It just came into my way.
It's thinking of step 1 before you're like, actually do step 1 before you're thinking of step 10. Do you know what I mean? People think of step 10 first, and it just doesn't make sense.
And then they get fear and anxiety about their whatever, like everything. You know, when you're thinking too fast. I mean, what the fuck? Many things can happen, but don't think about it. You know, but that can happen everywhere. Yeah, everywhere.
But that's the thing with overthinking. People that overthink, they think that they have to have it figured out before they start, and it's just not true.
True.
Like, if I would have thought I had to be perfect with my YouTube videos, I wouldn't have posted my 700 videos to learn how to get to where I am. And at the same time, don't get me wrong, I think I should have way more subscribers than I do because of the amount of effort I've put in.
Yeah, for me the same. I do so
exactly.
much.
But at the same time, I've built a skill.
Yeah.
And that will forever work. Do you know what I mean? And I see YouTube as an investment. My videos are going to be there for life. People can watch, and I like that people can watch my journey of how I've developed as a creator as well. Because when you watch my first videos, you realise that I couldn't talk to a camera very well. You realise that I didn't know how to edit videos. You realise that I didn't have any skill, any ability. I had a really bad camera. I didn't have microphones.
Same.
Like, I didn't have anything, but eventually over time I've learned, and now I understand how cameras work. I now understand how to edit. I now understand how to talk to a camera. I now understand how to structure a video, and it's all developed. I didn't think that I needed to know it all. And I was having a meeting with one of my friends earlier, and I was talking about something, and I always jump to the end conclusion, right? What can we do here, then we can do this, then we can do this, then it can branch out into here. And he said, he was like, one step at a time. He was like, imagine it like a baseball.
Yeah.
He's like, first you've got to see how hard you can hit that baseball. Once you've hit the baseball, then you go, okay, now I've got to run.
Okay.
You don't think, right, I've got to run. Right, let me get this baseball first. Okay, I've got to run. Like, you're just confusing the mind. So it's like, just do step one. Let step two figure out what it is. Like, there's no rush. Like, slow down. Like, I was always in a rush to be a millionaire. That was always a rush for me. But now I'm just like, I don't need it tomorrow. Like, all I really need is a very minimal life. That's why I like here. I don't need a lot.
Me too. I love it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also love luxury stuff.
But but the good thing is, if you can feel already grateful and good in this minimum, and then if you have a lot, I think then it's, of course, it's a plus. It's nice.
And it supplements your life.
Yeah, exactly. It supplements your life, but not that you need it to feel that.
That's it.
You know what I'm.
Like, I don't need a lot of money. I just don't. Do I want a lot of money? I want loads of money. Like, I love Lamborghinis. I love watches. I want one of those one day. And I know I'm going to have one, but I don't need it tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not in a rush. And I feel like a lot of people, we see people online have quick successes. I see people online have quick successes, and I'm like, damn, I knew them before they didn't have anything. And I've been doing this longer. Yeah. But, like, I know someone, she, like, grew so quickly, and I was just like, you've been doing this like a quarter of the amount of time I've doing it. Why am I not like that? And like, I started comparing myself, but I realised that's not my journey. No. I'm on a different journey. Exactly. It's not where I need to be. That is not the stuff I want to be talking about as well. So, yeah, like, comparing. Exactly. Yeah, remove your ego from it, sort of thing. Like, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, just go on your journey. Some people, it may take them 1 year. Some people, it may take them 10 years. It may take someone 20 years. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But as long as you enjoy the process of doing it, then it doesn't matter how long it takes you. And like you said, I enjoy hypnosis. I enjoy making videos. I just enjoy everything that I do. And there's some things, don't get me wrong, I'm just like, I hate this. But you've got to learn them, and then you learn to love them. So like editing videos, I'm not going to say I like it, because I don't really like it. I hated it, but now I'm becoming to, I say myself, now I like it because I'm getting better, and then I like it more. Exactly. Just on the beginning, it's a little bit struggle, to be honest, but with a lot of things, what seems complicated when you have no clue. But it's like anything, like a language. Like, I didn't know any French. Obviously, you speak German, English, and French. German, English, and Spanish. Yeah. I'd never learned a language before. In school, they always said I was too stupid to learn a language. I had to do more English. Like, they basically what they said. Because you can talk in English with everyone, even here in Playa, with everyone you can talk. But no, they said, they were like, oh no, you need to do more English because you're not good enough when I was in school. So that was basically what it was. Now I know Spanish. Do you know what I mean? Not fluent, but like, I can have full-on conversations with people and maybe use a Google Translator like 5 times. Yeah. Nice. In like a whole, and like I could probably talk to them for a good 20-30 minutes. Wow. It takes me a bit of a struggle still, but I can get the words out. I know a lot of words. I can understand a lot more, because and that's what anything is. You're learning a whole new language. Editing, video editing. You're learning the language of how to edit videos. How to be a photographer. You're learning the language of photography. How to paint. Like, I don't speak to my nan. Don't like my nan. She's a horrible person. But she's a great artist. She learned art when she was like 65. She learned to paint at 65. Wow. I'm like, there's no, you're never late. Do you know what I mean? Just, if you want to do something, do it. Enjoy the process of it. That's the most important thing.
That's amazing. And I mean, now you're so conscious, and you improved your life.
I try to be.
No, but you are conscious about choosing your food, right?
Yeah.
Food, you're doing exercise, right? You're talking about good things, you're working on yourself. And what is like a very important part for you to keep the routine now? Because I know that sometimes you can get into another lifestyle.
Yes.
Some people easily, some people not easily. But what exactly keeps you doing it? You have some things.
It's self-love, and that's actually what it is. Like a lot of people think, oh, there's a specific technique, specific tactic. What's that? Some people think it's like a specific tactic. It's like it's not. It's actually just from a place of self-love. The reason I feed my body healthy foods is because I love myself. The reason I work out is because I love myself. Like I want to look in the mirror and say, you look good, Max. You know what I mean? And I think I look good. Hence why I'm able to take my shirt off. Do you know what I mean? I'm proud of what I've created.
I saw that you sometimes you posting before and after.
Yeah.
Some years ago you look different.
Of course, I was not in good shape. I wasn't in good shape. I didn't feel as confident as I am because I didn't work on my body. Do you know what I mean? And now I've done so much work on myself. Like, I want to show that off. Not from a place of ego, just because I'm proud of me. Do you know what I mean? And you can only really build a real feeling of proudness from doing something. Like you can't just say, oh, I want to be proud of myself. You can't manifest being proud of yourself by just saying an affirmation. It's like, no, you actively have to go out, do stuff that can make you feel proud about yourself. Do you know what I mean? If I laid on my couch all day and just ate potato chips, why would I feel proud about myself? Like, I wouldn't. So like that's just delusion. So I'm creating healthy habits, healthy routines, and starting off very small. So I start off whenever I do anything. Like I created a 30-day meditation challenge, and in the challenge, day 1 is 3 minutes, day 2 is 4 minutes, day 3 is 5 minutes. So every day you're increasing your habit by a little bit.
Yeah.
So like if you want to go to the gym, start off with day 1 going for like 20 minutes. Like don't go for 2 hours. Don't make it difficult. Make it easy. Like whenever you start anything, just make it easy, because
make it easy.
a lot of people go hard very quickly. Like one of my friends, a fitness coach, Matteo, he was telling me, he was like, a lot of his clients, they'll say, right, that's it, I'm going to do 7 days a week. And he's like, no. He's like, don't. He's like, do 3 or 4. Because then you're going to get fed up with yourself because you're not keeping up the 7 days a week, because most people won't keep up 7 days a week. So whenever you start anything, just start super simple and eventually start to improve it. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're doing an ice bath, let's say you want to create a habit of doing an ice bath all the time. Don't start with like a 20-minute ice bath. Like I can't do 20 minutes.
How much you can, because it's very popular here.
I can do like 3 to 5 minutes maybe. Yeah. Like that's my maximum. My maximum I've done is like 5 minutes.
It's hard?
Yeah, of course it's hard. It's super difficult. It's super difficult. And I've got a very strong mind. As soon as I get in an ice bath, I go, you've got to get the fuck out of it. You've got to get out of it. You've got to get out of it, because it's
5 minutes is long.
It feels like an eternity. So I mean, 5 minutes having a conversation with someone you love goes like that. 5 minutes in an ice bath is a completely different story. But like doing things like that, things that are difficult, things that are physically difficult. Yeah. An ice bath is physically difficult, but it doesn't take a lot of like mental capacity. Like you just do it. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't have to think about it a lot. You just get into the ice bath. Obviously, it's not comfortable, but when you start doing things that are uncomfortable, it starts to make you start to build a level of discipline in your body to say, even when I don't want to do it, I'll still do it. You know what I mean? So in regards to routines, like I say, keep it super simple. Don't like do it for too long. Like start it as a habit versus trying to do it for too long. So if you want to meditate, just meditate every single day for 5 minutes for the next 3 months. Don't do any more if you want to do that. Then after 3 months, you'll notice that you just wake up and meditate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then in the morning, then you can change it to 10 minutes.
It's automatically.
Exactly.
A friend of mine, he's a coach too. He, for example, said to me, Justine, because of the editing I felt like sometimes I had a blockage because I was thinking too much. And then this problems come, and then this is annoying. And then he said, do every day 20 minutes of editing. And the good thing is when I'm doing then 20 minutes of editing, I always do longer too, but only because I really like it then. The hardest thing is just to
getting started, 100%.
It's the same in the gym as
anything.
When you are there and you start working, it's okay. But the worst is before, because you feel like
you start to overthink it. Well, it's the ice bath as well. The worst part is actually thinking about anticipating it.
Exactly.
So like, as long as you don't, like before I got into the ice bath, like when I first ever did one, I was like, oh, I'll be all right, I'll be fine. I didn't realise how cold it was going to be. So like, I actually did the opposite. I didn't think about it too much. I was like, oh, I'll be fine, I can do this.
The first time,
I was like, I was like, oh, I'll be all right. I got in, I was like, oh my God, that is so cold. So like, if you remove that fear, that initial fear, it actually makes your life so much easier. So rather than overthinking it, just do it. And like Mel Robbins has that, what is it, the 5-second rule? But when you feel fear, count down from 5. When you get to 0, just fucking do it. So it's like, right, I'm feeling the fear, 5, 4, like let's say you want to go and speak to someone on the street. You're like, right, I'm feeling the fear, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go up and just say hello. Do you know what I mean? If you're feeling the fear with the ice bath, you're like, or let's say you want to go bungee jumping, you're feeling the fear, and you're like, right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Like you just like, yeah, I've used it before, because what you're doing is you're giving yourself a time limit, and you're just doing it. You're just jumping into action. Again, you're then building that as a habit to whenever you face a fear, whenever you come up with a fear, just do it. Because when you do it, eventually you just start to, life just becomes easier, and then you realize that nothing in life is going to become easy. You just naturally become stronger, and that's just the way it is.
It's true. Nothing goes easily. It's just you, because you get stronger. Nice. Gracias. Yeah. No, it's really true.
Well, there's a great analogy of it. Like, think of a weight.
Yeah. No, it's nice.
A 20-pound dumbbell is always going to weigh 20 pounds. Someone who's never been to the gym versus a bodybuilder. What's the difference? It still weighs 20 pounds, but the bodybuilder lifts it like that, like super easy, and the other person's like, what's the difference? The strength difference. And mental strength is the same thing.
Oh, it's nice. I like that mindset. And what I want to ask more, with the hypnosis, exactly. Maybe you can just talk about a little bit more about the hypnosis, because I would like to know, for example, when you did hypnosis, how did you help people already? Do I have some examples? Like the easy example are, for example, when somebody wants to quit smoking and they quit smoking or whatever.
I've done smoking, weight loss, all those type of things. But then the thing I usually go to is like a trauma. Because like, let's say someone's smoking. So I had someone with smoking and they were like, oh, I want to stop smoking. I did hypnosis with them, and then they're like, oh, I started smoking again. I was like, because smoking isn't your issue. Your issue is the trauma. So I was like, stop focusing on smoking. Like, obviously, when you solve the trauma, you won't want to smoke.
True. The same with overeating, for example. I have it with the loss of fear. Right. Fear of loss, sorry. Okay. Fear of loss. And then when I was watching, and then if I have the fear of loss, it comes in my stomach. Exactly. The feeling comes here, and then I feel like I want to eat. Exactly. To not feel it anymore. Exactly. And yeah, exactly. It's not the food. It's really just the emotion what comes. That's then. It. And so how you work then with them? So
the example that I said, the girl then started smoking again. When we did another session and we worked on the trauma, she then never smoked again.
You worked on the trauma with them?
I tend to work mostly on traumas with people, because let's say someone comes to me, they go, oh, I've got anxiety. Anxiety isn't the problem. Anxiety is the symptom of the problem. The problem is the trauma that caused the anxiety. Because when you were born, you didn't have anxiety. You never had it was a given thing through experiences. No one's got a fear of heights until they believe that heights are scary. No one's got a fear of people with tattoos until they have an experience where someone with tattoos mugged them. Therefore, they would look at us two and go, oh my God, they look like thugs. That's not a reality, that's just their experience. So everything comes down to either one specific trauma or a bunch of little traumas that add up over time. So like, let's say someone was bullied, or let's say someone's got real bad victim mentality, self-doubt, and they hate themselves. And then you go back and you realise they were bullied for so long that the bullies made them think that about themselves. It's not a reality, but they were told to believe that because they heard it so many times. Just like if you spend enough time here, eventually you're going to pick up Spanish. Even if you don't try, you're eventually going to pick it up. So every issue that someone has stems from a specific trauma. So for me, it's about going to the trauma, understanding the trauma. You can change sort of how you believe that you've reacted to it. Like I did that. I used to have a petrifying fear of talking to women. I went back to the trauma, and it was 15-year-old Max that had a bad experience with a woman that got laughed at and felt really embarrassed by everyone. So whenever I would speak to a woman, I would feel like people are laughing at me.
Yes.
So then when I figured that out, I then said, okay, so this is 15-year-old Max talking. This is not 25-year-old Max.
The child. The child.
Exactly.
True.
So then whenever I would feel that fear, I would always just remind myself, you're not 15-year-old Max anymore.
Sure.
And then it's just about putting that into play all the time. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that tends to be the thing. Whatever someone's problem is never what I do a session about. I always figure out why the problem's there. Then when I know what the problem actually is there for, then I make the changes with it. And then we go, okay, so what do we actually need to change? How do you need to feel about this? Like, some people just haven't cried about it before. Like, they've just held it in the whole time. And they realise when they cry about it, it relieves so much pressure.
Yeah.
There's so much pressure. And then they're like, I feel so different. And I'm like, because you've been like, it's like you're like this.
Yeah.
Like, you're constantly like that. Your body's so tense. Imagine being so tense for like like for years on end. And then all of a sudden relaxing and having a massage that day. Your body, you're going to go, what? This is life? Like, people don't realise that that's what life can actually be, because they've never experienced it.
That's cool that you say, yeah, it's really powerful, because I experienced this on ayahuasca, by the way. I was crying for hours and hours and hours and hours. Like, really, like crying so much, like never in my life. And that helped me to release so much. I
mean, like, think of it. When someone gets angry, they shout. It's an unconscious thing that we do. They shout, or they want to go for a run. Like, there's healthy ways to get rid of emotion.
Yeah.
In society, we're told you can't be sad. Like, men don't cry. It's not good to be crying in the public.
Stop crying.
Exactly. And it's like, that's not true.
Children's always stop crying.
Exactly. And like, it's such a bad habit to get into as a guardian of a child, is to say stop crying, because no, you want to encourage them to cry. If they're feeling an emotion, they need to let it out. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a parent right now, so obviously I don't have a kid that's actually just crying for no reason, so I'll figure that out when I get there.
No reason, yeah.
But if a kid's crying, there's clearly something going on in their mind that isn't sitting right with them. Therefore, they're trying to show emotion. When you tell them to suppress it, that's what they learn. And I've worked with so many people that my goal is to try and make people cry sometimes, because I know that's all they really need.
It helps.
There's one guy that I've worked with, and I just know that he needs to cry. Once he cries, most of the stress will go, I can guarantee you, because it's like all of the stuff is just piling up. The body's just still tense. Like, once you have that, you realise how relaxing life can be. And then from there, you can start to build a new language of self-love, of happiness, of confidence. And that is a skill that you need to learn. Letting go of an emotion is just an instant. Yeah. Oh, that's it. So emotions can be released instantly. Like, you can release fear, you can release like stress, anxiety, all that stuff really quickly. But the thing like confidence or happiness, like, they're actually a skill that you need to learn. Like, to be able to talk to people, you can remove the fear of being scared to talk to people, but you still need to learn how to have good conversational skills. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't walk up to someone and just go, "Hi, you're right." Like, you have to look them in the eyes. You have to be able to have a conversation with them. Like, physical touch, all that type of stuff is very normal for me now, because I've learned that. Like I said, I used to struggle with anxiety. Like, someone looking me in the eyes would freak me out.
I cannot imagine.
Do you know what I mean?
So open.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it's a skill that I've learned to be like. I've learned to be like this. There's some days where I put my headphones on and I'm like, I don't want anyone to talk to me. I'm still like that. I'm a very introverted person. But I still like speaking to people. I still like having interesting conversations. And I choose the conversations that I have. But yeah, it all started from, like I said, everything. And that's what my book's about. Have you heard of kintsugi before?
No.
Kintsugi. So it's a Japanese art where, imagine there was like a mug or a plate or something like that. When it would smash in Japan, rather than throwing it away, they would fill the cracks with gold and they would glue it back together. So what they're basically doing is highlighting all the breaks in the china. So my book is called Kintsugi for the Mind.
Nice.
And like, it's talking about my story, it's talking about other people's stories, that your biggest break, just start highlighting it. Start telling people. Like, no one can say, "Oh, but you were this person before," because I've made videos about that. I used to kick wing mirrors off cars for no reason. I used to snort cocaine all the time. I used to get into fights. I've said some awful things. Like, I've been horrible to people. Like,
wow.
I don't hide that, because that's who I was. And I don't think we should be ashamed of what we've done. We should use that to become someone better.
And to inspiring people who are like this, and they give them hope to become better. No?
Exactly, and that's the goal.
And not always, he's born like this. He was always had this mindset. No.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Because some people maybe don't think this way. They don't think that you put a lot of work in yourself.
Of course, a lot of people think it probably comes naturally, and for me, none of it came naturally. Like, I had to learn everything. I had to learn how to talk to people. I had to learn how to make videos. I had to learn how to edit videos. I had to learn hypnosis. I had to learn like everything that I know now. I didn't know any of it.
Even to live in another country alone.
Yeah, like I was always.
For example, it's a lot of people. It's a big step too. They cannot imagine how you're doing it. No?
And I think about this, and I was like, I remember people saying to me, "Oh, it's so dangerous. Mexico's dangerous. All of this." I'm like, it's really not. Like, people have so many limiting beliefs. I'm like, just do it. Like. I always thought, I always want to live in a hot country, but I always thought, how am I going to do it? What's the visa situation? How can I live there? How am I going to work? How am I going to make all of this? I was like, I built a business that allowed me to make money. Cool. Let's go and figure it out. If I don't like it, I can come back home. Like, that was always my thought process. And
you can always go back,
You can always go back to your old life. And let's face it, I'd rather regret doing something than regret not doing it. Because if I regret not doing it, I'll never know what the outcome could have been.
Exactly.
And for me, I'm like if imagine I never came to Mexico.
Oh my God.
Like, my life would be so different.
Imagine I would never have come to Mexico.
Do you know what I mean? Your life would be so different. You would be so different as well.
7 years. I grow so much here. I grow so much because of the challenges, what gives me to be in a totally different place, new people, everything is new. Oh my God, you find yourself really, because you forget how you would actually be, because you have to find yourself new or figuring out things new what you never done before. So I think it really helps a lot to change the surrounding.
Of course.
Because you're not automatically choosing the same thoughts and the same actions. You change something, so you're completely life gonna change. This is the greatest cut, or the biggest option or chance to really change.
Yes,
I
agree.
It's so helpful, and that's why you go so fast. Then it's easy. It's kind of easier because you really don't remind your old self. You know, when you're just surrounded by everything new.
And I think that's it. You've said it perfectly, because even, like I said, even a year ago. Maybe a year ago? Yeah, even a year ago, I struggled to talk to women. So if I wouldn't have come to Mexico,
Wow.
Yeah, a year ago. Only 1 year ago.
Oh, shit,
and if I'm being honest, I've never dated so many women in my life since being here. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I've because I never had the confidence to.
Yeah.
The thing that made me change it was having my heart broken by someone. Do you know what I mean? That made me realise that I was doing things wrong. So again, like, stop moving. Going back to what I first started talking about, stop trying to move away from pain. Like, just look for a lesson in all the pain that's happening. Like, if everything's going wrong in your life, just look for a lesson in it, because at least if you look for a lesson, you're gonna feel something better than what you're feeling right now. And like I said, I still had to learn stuff. I still had to read books. I actively read books to understand how to talk to people, like, to overcome my fears, like, all that type of stuff. I still had to read books, but now that I've done it, again, now it's something that I've got for the rest of my life. No one can take it away from me. That way, they can take my money, they can take my cameras, they can take all my stuff, my YouTube channel, but they can't take away who I am as a person.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing. Like, we wake up every day, you look in the mirror, you're always going to look at Justine. I'm always going to look at Max in the mirror, whatever happens. So for me, I'm like, this is the most important investment in my life.
Yes.
Like, without this, like, besides health, like, is on par with health. Mental health and physical health are exactly the same, the most important things. If we don't have them, like, well, then money doesn't matter, relationships don't matter, because you're not feeling good about yourself, and you're not literally feeling good in general. So what's the point in having anything else? So it's the most important thing up here, my opinion.
The greatest investment what we can do is investing ourselves, the time in ourselves.
That's it.
And really be aware of that we really have to take the time for ourselves, because a lot of people get too distracted from so many things.
Exactly.
You know, distraction from people always, because they think they cannot be alone. But this is what will give you all the answer. Being alone gives me all my answers, what I needed to figure out, you know.
Gives me creativity, gives me understanding, like, all of that. It gives you everything. But then at the same time, like, also surrounding yourself with good people.
Yes,
that's a big thing.
You're gonna attract it later, but first become a little bit in that. I think the energy really comes from with me, and then if I get to a certain point, I'm gonna attract the right surrounding.
Yes, without a doubt.
But I think isolation can help to change a little bit, because when you're always surrounded with the same people who you was and you want to change, you're gonna have the conflicts. It can be hard sometimes. You know what I'm meaning?
Well, the thing is, when I first made my changes, I left all my old friends, so I didn't see any of them. I don't speak to any. I haven't spoken to them for years. Like
the battery. So. Yes.
Vamos. Take 3.
Yeah, what you said?
So I left all my friends. I got out of the habit of going out all the time, drinking, smoking. Like, I got out of the habit by actively leaving my environment and going very sort of like internal, inclusive, is that the word? Inclusion, I don't know if that's the word, where I like went very internal, just on my own, secluded. Like, I just sort of like removed myself from society, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I probably did that for about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't really have friends for about 3 years. So like, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy journey for anyone, because it's not. Yeah. But I also don't think it should be an easy journey, because like I said, it builds character along the way. So I didn't spend time with people. I spent a lot of time with my family, my mum and my sister, because we lived together. And I love my mum and sister. Do you know what I mean? I love my close family, my mum, my sister, my stepbrother, my stepdad. We've all got such good relationships because we had to spend so much time together. Because I didn't have much money. I was trying to start businesses. I would do part-time jobs just to make money. I would start businesses, but it all comes around to the people you're around. So like I said, coming here, I've got so many friends that work out, therefore I'm in good shape now. Do you know what I mean? Before I wasn't in good shape, I didn't have many friends. I went to the gym on my own. There's now people that hold me accountable. So many of my friends here are very confident with women, therefore I learned by speaking and being around them. So like, the people that you spend time with, like, it's cliche, but it really is who you become. So my thought process now is like, I just want to hang around people that make a lot of money, because I know how quickly I rub off on them, like or how quickly they rub off on me, and how quickly I can learn the skills that they have from just being around them. So like, putting yourself around those people, yeah, maybe you don't have the access to these people, but you have to become a person that will gain that access. Therefore, if I want to be around successful people, I have to be confident, have to be able to talk, have to be able to hold myself in a conversation. I have to have a skill that gives me value towards them. So like, doing a video with someone, like I've done videos of people that have millions of followers. I've helped them before they had loads of followers. Do you know what I mean? So like, there's been value before. And I'm big on that. I'm always about giving value, like, before taking anything. But who you spend time with is who you become. But the way that you spend time with better quality people is by becoming a better quality person. And for me, when I didn't have access to anyone, I used online. Like, online is such a beautiful thing. You can search up Max HINDLE, how to reprogram your subconscious mind. You can search up Tony Robbins, how to overcome a fear. You can search up Joe Dispenza, how to manifest money. Like, you can spend time with these people without actually spending time with these people.
Exactly.
So that's
amazing.
That's a super good tip that helped me, because I never had access to them. But now I've got an ability that allows people to want to spend time with me. Do you know what I mean? Because I've learned so much. Like you said, like, some people, they judge me on face value, and then they hear me and they're like, oh, you actually seem a lot older than you are. And I'm like, because you've never experienced what I've experienced. I had to go through some stuff.
True.
And it's allowed me to become this person, and I'm blessed to be me.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, really, you are so mature.
Mature, yeah.
Yeah, really, so mature. Oh my God. Amazing.
Yeah. And like I said, it was because of all the shit I went through.
Yeah, imagine where you will be in 10 years.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm always looking forward to. Like, who can I become in the next 5-10 years? Wow. And for me, it inspires me who I will become, because I know how much capability I have. I'm not trying to rush it. I'm not wishing away my next 5 years, but I'm excited to who I will become as well at the same time. So for me, it's like, some days I have great days. I am so productive. I do so much. I do 2 workouts. I speak to friends. I do loads of videos. I do content. I make sales. I do all this stuff. And then other days, I do nothing. And I'm like, I probably should have done more. That's the balance of life. Nothing's going to be great.
Balance,
nothing's going to be perfect.
Exactly. And everyone, it doesn't matter how much we appreciate that person or think how great this person is, they all have these days. You know, this is like the yin and yang, and it's normal, I feel. Because even me, sometimes people say, oh, you're always so positive. Yes, I'm an optimist, okay? Yes, I'm focused, I'm aware, but I have to feel sad sometimes too. You know, I cannot always feel good. I have to struggle because I want to become all the time better. I can only become better when I'm struggling, when I feel pain. The biggest pain and the worst uncomfortable moments in my life where I really feel like, oh my God, why you give it the shit me again? Because I'm really done. I thought I'm ready. No. But this makes me grow.
It does.
That makes me so much grow. And then I'm like, wow, because of this, I have more empathy. Because of this, for example, my mission is to help people too, like me, like you, what you're doing. Yeah. But to really feel the people, to get the connection and the empathy, I will, because I had this pain too. And as more I got, the best you can help the people. And that's why I know life gives me this. It's like a gift.
Yeah,
you know?
The pain's actually a gift.
It's actually a gift because that makes you grow. That makes you become this person you want to really be.
That's it. But think about how you're thinking about that. Like, some people will go, this pain is pain. You're saying this pain is a gift because it's going to give me empathy. So you're just reframing what's actually happening, because why should you even think like that? There's no real reason for you to think like that. But you choose to think like that because that serves you and helps you. And then take, like, pain as an example, going to the gym. Like, what is the actual goal of going to the gym? To tear your muscles. The gym is actually to hurt yourself. To get to failure, to go until your muscles can't take anymore. Literally to go to failure. In life, why is it different? Like anything, like, you have to maintain everything that you have. When you get a van, when you get a car, when you get a camera, you have to maintain these things. The gym, you maintain it. Your mindset, you maintain it. And how do you maintain it? Meditation, self-reflection, journaling. All these things that I always recommend to people are super powerful. Just because I've done all my healing journey doesn't mean I stop. I still meditate every single day.
Me too.
I still journal every single day. Do you know what I mean? Because it's necessary for the mind. And I noticed this, I took a few days off to see what would happen. I took a few days off from the gym, meditation, journaling, all of that. Stop reading.
Distracted by other things.
You start going on Instagram more.
Things, and that
scrolling.
Forms you. You know, like how we say we are energy, we are reforming ourselves every day. So only because you have this form now, tomorrow you can have a different form.
Exactly.
This is what I mean with the energy. And same with the muscles, because that's the best example. I always said to the people, hey, you go every day to train because you're going to lose your muscles. If not, same with your mindset. If you don't work on yourself for that focus, this direction, you're going to find a different direction, and then you're going to lose your mindset. And then you become in the old habits maybe. Then your whole fucking life, like, as the life can be changed in a good way in a short time, it can change in a bad way. That's why we cannot say I'm done now.
Yes,
it's never possible.
It's a constant thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like take it as an example. Look at bodybuilders. That they were once they were the biggest guys you'll ever see in your life. Then they stop going to the gym for 10 years because they have an injury that can't allow them to work out anymore. They lose it all. So everything in life is a maintenance. Everything. That doesn't mean you have to go ridiculously hard like a bodybuilder and do 2 hour sessions a day. You don't have to do that. But just going once a day for 30 minutes, that's more than enough. Like, I personally, for my goals, I want to get bigger muscles. Therefore, I work out more weight training. Some people, they want to do more cardio because it's actually better for your health. So it depends on your goals. So before anything, get crystal clear on what you actually want. Like, what do you actually want from life? If you start to write down your goals and you start to get clear on what you do want, you'll start to realise, okay, so this is who I need to become. And from there, you can reverse engineer it. You're like, okay, I want to make £1 million. Okay, how do you do that? First of all, who's someone that's done that? Okay, let me look at this person. What did they do? Okay, they're a confident person. They are a creative person. They know how to do marketing. They are very good at sales. Okay, perfect. So what do I need to do? Right, let's start with sales. How do I learn to be good at sales? First, you need to learn about persuasion. Do you know what I mean? You start to reverse engineer it, then you get down to the smallest thing, which is, okay, you need to learn about sales today. Okay, you need to learn about persuasion. Okay, who's a persuasive person? Start watching their content. Do you know what I mean? Don't think that you have to be a millionaire tomorrow. Start with step one. And I know it looks like a lot of steps, but in 10 years' time, you're going to be 10 years older anyway, so you might as well do something.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's fun.
Exactly.
I mean, if we see we growing, even if it's just a little bit, to be honest, if we take the illusion away that it have to come fast and easy. Okay, easy, we know it's not easy, but fast. Why fast? Enjoy, like what they say, enjoy the journey. It's the same with traveling. I mean,
the goal isn't to get to the next destination, it's to enjoy the travel.
For example, in the van, when I'm traveling in the van and I have a go and I go there, no? I mean, what happens between this? It's fucking enjoyable.
That's it.
And it's really fun. And especially this is mostly what makes you grow. You know,
she's just enjoying life. She's just enjoying the journey.
So it's really enjoyable. The journey is really enjoyable.
I agree.
And then if you understand this, then life feels really lighter and beautiful.
Honestly, I feel like I don't have ridiculous amounts of responsibilities. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people take on responsibilities in life for not a really good reason. Do you know what I mean? They're like, they'll go and get a new car that costs more money. They'll go and get a new upgrade on their phone, which they don't really need, but they just want a new phone. Like, they start getting all these responsibilities. I don't have many responsibilities. I've got rent, I've got electricity, I've got food, I do actually have my laptop and stuff, my business stuff to pay off because I needed a laptop to travel. But I don't have ridiculous amounts of responsibilities, and it makes my life easier for the time being. Therefore, I don't need to earn a stupid amount of money, which means I don't need to get a job that is going to cause me like depression or cause me pain because I don't want to do it. I've built a business that allows me to make enough money to survive. And from that, I've got opportunities. Do you know what I mean? I've got people wanting me to speak at their events and stuff like this. Nice. So yeah, just to, I think, sum everything up, is do everything step by step. Like, stop looking at step 10 when you're on step 2.
I think that's very important.
Very important.
Step by step. Same with when you're running. You know, when I'm running and I'm thinking about the fucking 10 kilometers what I want to run. It's horrible. But when I want to quit sometimes after 1 kilometer I want to quit. But then I'm thinking, no, Justine, don't think about 10 kilometers. Just think about every single
and like
step,
you said, enjoy the journey. Like, admire the plants, admire the beach if you're on the beach. Like, admire everything that you're doing on the way, because either way you're going to 10k. So are you going to feel pissed off and stressed and frustrated through the whole 10k? Or are you going to get to the end at least trying to be happy about it?
Yeah, exactly.
And be like, oh my God, that was a really nice beach. I watched something funny happen. I watched a bird fly into a person. Like, it made me laugh. Like, silly things like that. Like, enjoy those little things because they also give you good stories. Like, people that go through shit have good stories. Like, you never want to hear the story of, so what happened was I started my YouTube channel. In 3 days, I posted one video. 3 days, I got 3 million subscribers. No one really wants to hear that story because they're like, you're a prick. They're like, you're just a dickhead. Why are you rubbing it in my face? They want to hear the story of the person that's gone, I posted 1,000 videos and I had 10,000 subscribers. Like, do you know how much effort that was? Like, I know how much effort that is because I've nearly done 1,000 videos. So I know how long that actually takes.
Yeah.
Then you realise, they actually went through something. How did they overcome it? Like, in a superhero film, nothing's great. There's always a problem.
True.
In any film, there's always one problem.
Yeah, you need
that they solve the problem.
Yeah.
So stop trying to look at life as a fairy tale where everything is perfect. Look at life from a sense of something is going to happen. Who do you need to be to overcome the problem? And then that will be the biggest thing. If you reframe your life that way, that will be the biggest thing that will change your life.
Nice. Yeah, being more conscious, being aware. I think this is what I can always recommend people. Just try to find your way, what makes you feel more conscious and aware, because then you get to that point of lifestyle. No?
That's it. Super simple.
For me, it always helps me a lot. Walking is a lot like you doing meditation. I'm walking around like a crazy. I love to walk. It's like meditation for me. And fasting, not eating, very, very important for me. But everyone has his own things.
That's it. We all find our own things to do. We all find our own things to do. And for some people, things won't work. For some people, they will. So it's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. Finding what
because for some people, they hate walking on a beach. I love walking on a beach. Some people just hate it. It's not like walking on the beach is nothing. It's not good or bad. Some people will perceive it as bad. Some people will perceive it as good. Yeah. It's everything in life is a perception.
True.
Do you know what I mean? I don't like hot foods. That's not a reality. You don't like hot foods. Yeah. Hot foods aren't bad. Some people love spicy foods. Like, nothing is good or bad until we put a perception on it.
So true.
And that's based off our experience again.
And that's nice. That's actually nice. It gives me freedom a little bit to not thinking this is bad or good, you know, because I can choose. I'm free to choose.
That's it. I'm free to choose. Like, everything could look bad.
Can feel too
like you could
affect me.
Exactly. Like, you could lose everything. Like, one of my friends, she lost her daughter. She was 3 months old when she lost her daughter.
Oh my God.
Her business is a beauty salon, and it's named after her daughter. She said if she would have never come into my life, I wouldn't have the purpose that I have now.
Oh,
I was like, she spent those 3 months of her life, she spent them with me, and she changed my life. She brought my ex-boyfriend's family together because they wanted to see her and meet her, and they brought his family back together.
Wow.
Like she said, and I did a video with her because I was just like,
wow.
And I'm going to post it soon, like how she managed to reframe that. Because I was like, you had every reason to give up. Why didn't you give up? And she was like, I felt a disservice. I felt like I wasn't doing her justice if I gave up. Like, I had to do this for her. Everyone will go, that was the worst experience of your life. And I'm not saying it's the best experience of her life. I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is she took one of the worst experiences and she turned it into something amazing. And from that, I'm so inspired by her as a person. Shout out to you, Dowie. I love you. She's such an incredible person. And she inspires me all the time because I'm like, you are the type of person that is going to be successful because you've been through so much and you still haven't given up. And people like that I admire. I absolutely admire. And I feel like anyone that's truly admired hasn't been given everything. I mean, they've worked for it. They've created it. They've generated it. Don't know how long it's taken them, but they generated it. And the ones that are truly admired are the ones that usually come from nothing. So yeah, like, if you haven't come from anything, see that as a blessing that you can be the next person to inspire someone else. You can be the next person to help someone else.
That's beautiful.
Do you know what I mean? Because yeah, of course you could have been born into money, but you'll never really truly appreciate the value of money. I've had days where I physically couldn't afford rent. Like, that's scary, do you know what I mean? And other people that have been in that situation, what do? You have to find a way. You don't have a choice. Yeah. You have to find a way.
And that gives you strength because you always found a way.
Always found a way. Always found a way.
Always.
I've never, to this day, I've never asked for money from someone.
Wow.
Never asked. I've had people give me money.
Really?
I've had people give me money. Like friends, family members, they've given me money because they know that I've been struggling.
Yeah.
I don't like to say that I'm struggling. I like to, it's more of like there's a bit of ego in that, I think. A bit of ego in me. Like, I don't want to be a handout. But for sure, like, people have helped me and like I've not got here on my own. But yeah, it's taken me the ability to know that I have to do it, and that's what's made me do it. Like, I don't have a choice. I have to make money because I have to pay rent. And I look forward to looking back at these type of videos in like 10, 20 years and be like, I told you,
cool
like,
story.
here's proof that I couldn't afford rent. Like, here, I'm writing a book as well about it, like how I've struggled. Another one, because I want people to see that it never was the way that they're always going to see. Like you said, you only see me as confident today. That's the only Max you've ever met. People that knew me before knew a different Max.
Yes.
So they've experienced it. I want people that watches my content to experience my growth so that they can see, you weren't always like that. You didn't always have it given to you. Like, you had to work for it. Like, I want people to truly see it because that's never once before actually happened in life. Like, we've seen people have biographies and stuff, but now with things like YouTube, you're actually watching people's progress through their life, which is so great because you're seeing it as proof, which builds more belief in another person. They're like, oh shit, that is possible. Like, I'm not just being told a story, I'm actually watching them go from nothing to something, whether that's anxious to confident, 0 to 1 million, depressed to happy. Like, you're watching them through their process.
Nice.
That's it.
And I'm very excited about how everything will go for you in future.
So am I. I'm happy with life.
Hypnosis and everything. I think it's so cool.
Check me out online, people. Check me out online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, follow him on his YouTube and TikTok and Instagram.
Just type in Max Hindle anywhere, you'll find me. HINDLE.
I will put
Definitely.
all your links into the description. And yeah, I think that was a very good long
podcast. we got the mental strength to get through.
So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was.
And really I love the van. It's super cool.
Yeah.
You got everything going.
I've manifested this van.
There you go.
And it says here and now.
Does it?
Here. in this graffiti, here and now.
There we go, we're here and now.
Here and now, because this is very powerful. That's a very powerful thing, to be here and now.
Super powerful.
You have to learn it, but it's worth to.
That's it, and now life's good.
Yeah.
Life is good. That's all I can say. That's all I want to end on. Life is good. Enjoy life. Wake up every day. Write down why you're grateful. Write down why you're happy. Write down the reasons.
Yeah.
Write down who you want to become and then why you're happy every day. And I promise you, those little things will change your life. It changes mine. Changes my day. Most importantly.
Yeah.
Makes my day good.
Okay, so thank you, and thanks for watching. And
watch our videos.
I hope you can take this to get some inspiration to change your life into a better, because we always can learn something from each other. We are here to share, and I think that's very important, to share our experience, to support each other. No,
biggest thing. Okay. Follow myself, follow Justine, and watch our growth. That's all we can say. I know just like me, she's got the same tenacity and mindset to do it. Like you said, I want to be full time. I'm making it happen. And I watch a lot of people, and I know some people just don't have that. They don't have that drive to keep going when it gets difficult. But I know that you've been through the difficult phases, therefore I know you won't give up to do it, and you're going to do it. So just like myself, just like yourself, there's other people that are willing to do what it takes, and I know you're willing to do what it takes, so it's amazing to watch. Yeah, I'm excited what's going to happen in the future, so... Let's go! Vamos! Thank you. Bye!